Right now, probably our senior quarter. Yeah, she's a team mom. Yeah, she's an amazing.
Welcome to Tuesday Talk. I'm going to talk real quiet. My husband has a call going on in the other room.
I'm going to go for a walk with you. My wife is actually.
I'm sorry. Okay. So anyway, we're doing some in the kitchen tonight, and we are making some candy with redesigned with Prima molds. So these are ornament shaped. These are holiday molds. I have the names of them right here. We're going to try a few things. So I have some dough in the refrigerator. I have some icing made. So we're just going to play around a little bit in the kitchen. So this one's called Silver Bells. And of course, let me tell you a little bit about these molds. They are food safe. So they're silicone. This one's called Victorian Adornments. They're beautiful, and you wait till you see the detail in these. But they are food safe. Now, we of course use 2-part epoxy in them, and we use modeling material in them. So we pour all kinds of crafting stuff in them, but you want to keep a separate set if you're going to use it for sugar arts. Okay, so that would be with chocolate or with doing all kinds of like mints or anything like that. So I'm in the kitchen tonight. You can see my tree in the background, and I have the microwave behind me. I'm going to grab a spoon. I forgot that because I am melting a little bit of chocolate. And that's what we're going to start with, is some chocolate. I have to give this a stir. So when you melt chocolate in the microwave, you put it in just for 30 seconds at a time. So this is just a bag of ordinary chocolate chips. And I actually did the first go around for 35 seconds, and you can see it melted just a little bit, but you really have to keep after it. So we're going to be doing this for a few seconds here. Time cook 30 seconds. Oh, not 3 minutes. Boy, I'm off my game here. So I hope your week is going well so far. This may be the first time I ever sat down to do cooking. The other night I had my grandkids over and we baked cookies. And we baked so many cookies. By the time we were at the end of it, I was sitting down putting cookies on sheets. So I do have all my cookies baked now, except for tonight I mixed up another batch because I wanted to try some experimenting with these molds. So you can see that it's getting kind of melty. You can see. You don't ever want to let this go too far because then it'll crystallize. That's why you only do 30 seconds at a time. So this is a whole 12-ounce bag of chips. So this is just, so far, 65 seconds. So a little over a minute, but you don't want to do that minute all at once because it will crystallize. Okay, so I still see a few little chips in there. So I'm going to go ahead and do another 30 seconds, and we should be good to go. So, my red microwave. I've had it for a while now. I have a red kitchen, red microwave. So, I love the Pioneer Woman stuff. So, I have all kinds of, and I love old dishes and things like that. Go up here a little bit so you can see a little bit more. Give you the old tour. I won't show you the mess that I have because I'm baking. My husband was in the other room on his call, and I was trying to be real quiet, so I wasn't throwing stuff out or washing stuff because I was just trying to be real quiet. So now I can make noise. He went upstairs. So okay, so this is nice. This is good. All right. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make sure it's totally soft. Now, if this was going to be a long project, you would probably want to put this in water, or not in water, but put the pan, like suspend the pan in water. So I am going to put my phone back here. I'm not used to doing this in this room, so not exactly sure how this angle is going to work. I'm at 400 subscribers now, so I'm always asking for subscribers. So if we get to 1,000, then I can have all kinds of better camera angles. But right now, when I go live, I can only go live on the laptop. Okay, so I'm just kind of pushing the chocolate to the edges. And I'm going to put a little bit more in this top part here. And if we get any extra around the outside when it's hardened, we can clean it up. Like I said, you want to keep a set. If you find that this is something you'll like doing, you want to keep a set that's just for your sugar arts, for your chocolates. And white chocolate is beautiful with this. I have a couple molds that I use for white chocolate, and they're just so pretty. You can put them on a cupcake, or you can put them on a cake. It's just a beautiful adornment. It looks like moldings with white chocolate. And if you saw the White House tour that we did, you can see I'm fascinated with moldings. So that's why I think I love these molds so much as well. Okay, now we'll go ahead and do this other one. And if it starts to harden up again, just throw it back in the microwave. You know, you can also melt this chocolate on your stovetop. Again, you want to put it in a pan. So if you have a double boiler, I remember my mother had a double boiler. I've never had one in my kitchen, but she had one. Oh, I remember the things she used to make. Now, I can't see your comments right now when the screen's down, but feel free to comment. But one of my favorite things that my mom made, well, of course I loved fudge, but she made a fudge called panucci. We loved that. It was like brown sugar fudge, I guess you could call it. It wasn't chocolatey at all, but more like brown sugar. Boy, was that good. Okay, so we have these two done. And you want to make sure, you want to get that back as flat as possible. Mine's not real flat here. So I'm going to try to flatten that out a little bit. Now, another thing you can do, and tonight I'm going to do some total experimentation. I made some cookie dough, and it's in the fridge. And I'm going to see if I can mold some cookies. But I also have seen people use this shape and cut around it, and then melt the chocolate onto the cookie. So again, I don't have this very flat. I'm really trying here. Okay, I'm gonna set this one aside and even just throw this one in the fridge a second. So be right back. So I only brought these two molds home, so we're gonna have to see, you know, when that is molding, when that's setting up, we're gonna have to do some chatting or something to kill the time. Okay, so now I'm gonna use this other one, and this one is Victorian Adornments. No, this one's Silver Bells. Okay, I'll put the screen back down again. Okay. My chocolates still have a good consistency. I also have another toy to play with here that I just got from Tupperware. And I don't know how many of you know that I used to be a Tupperware lady. For a long time, I was, for 11 years. I was a sales manager with Tupperware. I got to drive the car, went from station wagons to vans. But anyway, I got this really cool icing pen from Tupperware. And the kids and I used it, and it really works. So I think I need to get some more of them. It's a great idea. So like I said, these are two of my favorite things, chocolate and redesigned molds. So I got so many cool things in the store today. I got Dixie Belle, the new Gilding Waxes. They come in great metallics and also some chameleon colors, violet, apricot, and what's the other one? It's a green, cactus. So I can't wait to get these out. They're chameleons because they change colors depending on the paint that you put underneath it. Okay, so this one's going to go in the fridge too. I'll take a look at the other one and see what's happening with it. Perhaps I shouldn't have done this just yet because, like I said, if the other one's not quite ready, then we're gonna have to kill a little time. Okay, I'm gonna pop this in the fridge. Be right back. Okay, I should have brought home some of my things. I was gonna bring some of the new waxes and all that stuff, but I thought, well, I'm gonna be in the kitchen, so maybe I shouldn't do all that. But anyway, so here is the new pen. So as soon as I get one of these cleaned up, or rather unmolded, one of the chocolate things, I thought I could put a little icing on it. But see, it's just a little pen, and you just kind of, I have it full of icing here. I made some red icing, and it's just really cool. You fill it up and you put the little cap in it, and then this is just a base that you put the pen back in between uses. So tell me what your favorite cookies are to bake. We did the peanut butter blossoms, and I have some really cute pictures of my grandkids unwrapping the little Hershey Kisses for on it. And then we did M&M cookies, and then we did the cranberry white chocolate chip cookies. They are my very favorite. I have celiac, so I use gluten-free flour. You can make wonderful cookies. I can attest to it. We made sugar cookies, and we also made church window cookies. So, do you know church window cookies? They are chocolate chips. So you melt the chocolate just like this, except you use a bag of chocolate chips and a stick of butter, and then you put a little bit of vanilla in it after you melt it and stir it together. And then you mix in while it's still warm. You have to do this really fast. You want to be prepped for it too. But you mix in a bag of the miniature marshmallows that are in the colors, and you roll it up. You just put this log and just roll it up, and You can roll it in coconut. And the last couple of years, I've rolled it in confectioner sugar, and it was just as good. So you use wax paper, and I've got to where one recipe I make 2 logs, and then I just keep them in that wax paper, put them in a baggie, and put them in the freezer. And then you slice it down. You just let it sit out a little bit, and then you just slice them down. And then they're supposed to look like church windows because of the marshmallows. So, like the stained glass. So they're really pretty, and they're definitely delicious. It's a couple of my favorite things there. So one kind of cookie that I normally make and that I'm not making this year because my husband's not eating chocolate, were the Neiman Marcus cookies. If you've never heard that recipe or had tried it, it is so good. Best chocolate chip cookies I've ever eaten. You take oatmeal and you grind the oatmeal. And you also take, besides all this decadent amount of chocolate chips, it makes a huge bowl of cookies. But you take an 8-ounce chocolate bar, big chocolate bar, and you grind that too. So you use this in the food process, and you're like shredding this. So you have this shredded chocolate, and also you have chocolate chips, and you have nuts, and it's just so good. Really good cookies. Not making them this year. So if my husband is not going to eat them, which he normally does, he eats a lot of them, I will eat them, and that's not good. So we'll just kind of stay the course. So let me check the refrigerator a second and see how our molds are setting up. They're getting there. Okay, so they're getting there. So what else? What's happening? It's Tuesday. So let me tell you about it. So you're here, you're on my YouTube channel. I encourage you to take a look around and see some of the other things that that I've been doing for the holidays. My husband and I went to the White House. So we did that last Tuesday. Hard to believe that was a week ago that we toured the White House for the holidays. And it's so beautiful. And then we watched the HGTV special that was on Sunday. So I liked our little video. So that's up on the YouTube channel. And also a couple weeks ago, I want to say it was like December 1st, it was warm here. And then tomorrow we're expecting about a foot of snow or more. So, but a couple weeks ago, we had the top down on our convertible and took the kids through Lights on the Lake at Lakemont Park, where we live here in Altoona, Pennsylvania. And it was awesome. I always wanted to do that, and it was really cool. So I asked their parents if it was okay if we posted the video, and they agreed. So I hope you'll watch that and enjoy it too, because I sure had fun making it, and it was just a joy. Those kids are a joy. If you're a grandparent, then you know this. One thing to be a parent, and you're just doing all the parenting things while you're raising your kids, and you're managing your house, and maybe you're working a job, and you just have all these responsibilities. And when you are a grandparent, you just have all the time in the world for them. It's a whole other thing. So it's really cool. So if you aren't yet or haven't experienced it, I hope that's something you get to if you want to. But it's really cool. I used to worry about feeling old, but it's not something I worry about anymore. So, okay, I know I keep jumping up to check, but I don't know what else to do because can't unmold them until they're ready to unmold, right? Meanwhile, I will grab my recipe book and show you my very favorite sugar cookie recipe. And I have to admit, I will tell you, I'm pretty good at sugar cookies. It's always been one of my um, favorite things. And, you know, when I have the grandkids, they end up looking kind of like, you know, we we just agreed that we would make one thing. We made trees. And of course, we tried this pen, and they were looking really good right up until we tried to do ornaments. And then I made the icing too runny, so it kind of looked like blood on the Christmas trees. So this is kind of why I made another batch. But let me grab the book here. This is old. I first got married in 1981, and this was a wedding present. The Better Homes and Gardens new cookbook. They update this cookbook all the time, but this is such a well-worn page, the sugar cookie page. This is probably, I don't know, I go to this one all the time. It's just really super easy. And my mom, I think, always made this recipe too. So I think that was her sugar cookie recipe. But anyway, isn't it crazy how, like, nowadays you just get on the internet and you look up the recipes that you know are in your recipe file. You know, they're things that are favorites, and still, you know, it's this one. I always grab the book because I know it's exactly what I want. Another kind of cookies that my mom made, and my kids will still say, you know, oh, they were so good. And I never make them, and I probably should, is my mom's orange blossom cookies. They were just super good. They just had like were like a sugar cookie with an orange flavoring, and then they had just a little confection or sugar icing that was just orange flavored. Kids just loved those, and even a little like orange rind on the top of the cookie. So they were super good. Okay, gonna put this back up on the shelf for safekeeping here. That's where it lives. Okay, one's kind of done. I can see that they need to go in a little bit more, and I can also see what I missed. So I don't know whether I'm going to be able to go ahead and put more in there or not at this point, because this is getting pretty well set up, but I still see that there's some in the middle that isn't. I'm really anxious for these to set up. I'm wondering if I shouldn't put it in the freezer, but I kind of hate to do that. Okay. I'm going to put it back in the fridge. So one of the things that I was going to try, so like I said, I made a batch of sugar cookies, and I was going to try pressing that into the mold. So hopefully we'll get a good mold here out, and the molds will be free, and I can give it a whirl. But also want to put some of the icing from this icing pen on there, because what's better than chocolate, maybe some icing on top of it. So yeah, I'd really love to know what your favorite Christmas cookies are, and other things that I'm anxious to try with this batch of cookies. So Dixie Belle has a magazine now. It's called Belle, and we have it for sale in the shop. And there are some cookies in there. I saw those, and I saw some other ones on Pinterest, and it just inspired me to do these designs on cookies. So one of them was buffalo plaid, because I've recreated the buffalo plaid lots of times. As a matter of fact, we're working on a piece of furniture in the store that is so cool. It's so it's just mad for plaid. That's what we're calling it, but it's Megan, who's working in our store right now, she's doing a great job kind of as a painter's apprentice. She's learning how to paint and all the different techniques. But we used redesign with Prima transfers and plaid, and we did a little buffalo plaid with the masking tape technique. And now we're using Dixie Belle's new houndstooth check stencil on the sides. So it is really, really cool. It's really shaping up. So she's been working on that, and I'll be real anxious to show that. We're hoping to unveil that Thursday, which is my husband's birthday, and it's also men's night at the store from 5 to 7. So that furniture piece might appeal to the guys because it's real manly with the plaid. So going to check my chocolate again. This is what's in here is still kind of usable. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with this. All right, I'm going to grab my molds and see if we can unmold one of these. I think I'm doing it prematurely, but we'll see. Get this chocolate out of here. And also grabbing my cookie dough. Okay. So I love my Pioneer Woman bowls. I just love these. They're metal. No, they're plastic bowls, but they're hard plastic, and they have a nice lid on them. I just love them. Okay, so here we go. I still think they sort of have a soft spot in the middle, but I'm going to put the screen down. These actually might be too big to make molds out of, or else I'm just entirely impatient, which is possible. You can see this middle section still, it's kind of hard, but it's also still a little goopy. Okay, keep in mind that this is experimental because I'm not sure how good these are going to turn out. That one's definitely not ready. This one's a little bit more advanced, but it's still not ready. There's that soft spot in the middle. So I'm going to put it back in the fridge because I think you'd rather see it come out nice than come out and be a mess, right? So I'm going to throw this back in the fridge. Okay. The Silver Bell one is actually coming out a little bit easier. So put the screen down a little bit. And okay, see, they're still not ready either. These just may be too big for chocolate. Yeah, it's getting there, but it's still not quite ready. Oh. Okay, back in the fridge. Okay, so we have a few people watching. I would love it if you tell me who you are, or just say hi, where you're signing in from, and what your favorite kind of Christmas cookie is, or favorite kind of Christmas treat to make. I would love to know that. So, would love to give you a tour of my kitchen too. So I don't know how well I can turn around here while we're waiting. But I've painted the cabinets in here and painted the countertops, but countertops are kind of covered, but we'll just give this a whirl. I have it plugged in, but so as I said, I have a red kitchen, and it's kind of inspired with roses, and I like antique things, so I have this shelf up there. Boy, I don't know how to do this. The shelf with all the old coffee pots. Kind of have a little coffee pot obsession, and I do not like coffee, so it's kind of weird. But one of my other obsessions is the Royal Albert old country roses. I have all kinds of pieces of that, and just love vintage stuff. And then trying to show you this window up here. So it's just it's on a hinge. So in the summer we keep it up so we can open the window, and then in the winter it comes down. But it's just a cool piece of stained glass. And over here is my cupboard that I took the doors off of, and I have some of the bowls out from the top right now. But like I said, I just like fancy dinnerware, and also I love the Pioneer Woman plates and cups and all that stuff. So there's always a place for everything in there, but I see some things that are out of place. Now, I'm not going to show you the counter because there's lots of things out of place on the counter right now. Okay, so we've been on 33 minutes already, and I don't know whether I'm going to be able to show you a mold. I don't know whether they're going to harden up enough. They should. Chocolate usually does, but I'm impatient, so haven't seen any recipes yet. So, or you don't have to put your recipe, but just your favorite cookies and stuff. So here's what my dough looks like, and I was going to try, but I don't really think it's going to work now that I've done it. I was going to try to put some in the mold, but it might work because it's hardening up faster than the chocolate is, but I'm just not sure about that. But I definitely want to roll some out. Like I said, try some paint techniques on them, like maybe blending some paint. Even I thought of using the stamps on them, putting the icing on and then using the stamps. I thought that might be kind of fun, or using a stencil. Just trying to do some of the techniques that we use on furniture with icing. So, another thing that might be fun to do is like a color wash with the food coloring. If you use the white chocolate, that might be really pretty. I don't know whether white chocolate molds better or not, because I never have any problem with it. It sets up pretty quickly. So now I didn't put any additional additives in this chocolate. I didn't put any butter or anything else in it to make it melt. So, all right, I'm gonna check it one more time, and we'll try to unmold it, and hopefully it'll work. Okay, as you can see, this is starting to come out. Okay. Now, see, there's a lot of stuff around the outside that needs trimmed. already I'm making a mess, but I'm going to grab a bowl or a plate here and put these on. Okay, get the cookie dough out of the way for the moment. Okay. Set that down here. All right, so I'll put this down so you can see what I'm doing. So I unmolded one so far, and I'm gonna set it on my plate. And the other one must just be that certain amount of time that you need. Okay, there's the other one. Isn't that pretty? Okay, and as fast as they set up, then they start to melt in your hands. Oh, that one's so pretty. Okay, now I am thinking that it would be good to put a cookie on this, because just to eat this like that, I mean, I can eat chocolate with anything, but okay, I'm gonna set this here and kind of rearrange the screen a little bit. Sorry, guys. Like I said, share these videos so we get more subscribers so I can use a real camera on my lives. Okay, so here's this little pen that I got from Tupperware, and I'm gonna go on this one with all the swirls. And just follow the swirls. And it's just adding a little extra something to it. Because like I said, you know, as if chocolate wasn't good enough, add icing to it. And it's going to be even better, right? Okay, so you get the idea. So this is really cool then. When you're done using it, you just put it like right in this thing so that it doesn't leak all over the place. So I'm probably going to be getting a couple of more of those because I think that's pretty cool. Okay, I'm going to set those out of the way and get the mold back into play here because like I said, I really don't know how this one's going to work out, but we'll give it a whirl. I'm going to try this one, and I'm going to get some of this cookie dough here. And my hands are clean. Kind of wish it was a little more stiff, the dough, but I'm afraid this is going to stick in here. But you never know if these things work until you try them, right? I don't think I'm going to risk that little part up at the top. I don't think this is going to work, guys. I think if my dough was a little stiffer, it might. So I think I would definitely have to chill this for it to work. So I might pop this in the fridge a minute and see what happens. If you don't mind hanging out for another minute or two, we can throw a little more icing on chocolate. Okay, I'm just going to throw this in the fridge. I'm thinking you might be able to take a knife or something and just kind of flatten it out. Okay, not sure how that's going to work. So, I got paint on my laptops, so I put transfers on it. And now I'm not sure what to do about getting dough on it except clean it off. Okay. So we'll put a little more icing on these cookies here, or I don't know what to call them. I guess candies. It would be pretty to put in with your cookies. Definitely tasty. So there's this center design. So I'm just kind of going around it. This will definitely work a little better if it's flat. Just going to go put some of these little dots on the bottom. A little star up the top. Okay, so that part separated. So there's lots of little dots all around there. Then this one is kind of a bow on the top. Whether you can see that one or not. And again, I'm just following along with some of the designs in it. But they really are beautiful. Trying to think, if this was furniture, I would be using like a gilding wax or some kind of wax on it. So I'm thinking maybe if you added food coloring to, say, butter. I don't know. I'm just thinking outside the box. Maybe you could rub it on there and it would make a little shimmery look. Who knows? You might be able to add some of the food safe glitter, food safe, mind you, and put that on there. And that might be pretty. And again, you could try it with the white chocolate too. So, all right, well, let's check what's in the fridge and see if that unmolds. And if that doesn't unmold, then we'll know that one's a fail. But we tried, right? And again, I think this is a great idea with the chocolate, except I think you need smaller molds, which we do have. So you could still do it for Christmas. And another thing you could do would be use the white chocolate, and you could use food coloring with red or with green. And you could use almost any of those shapes. The ones that are the knob toppers, that would be great to use those molds because they would just be little bite-sized pieces. Because realistically, even though I like chocolate, that's a lot of chocolate to sit and eat, and I don't think your guests are going to want to eat that big of a piece either. But we tried it to see if it would work, and it certainly did. And it's not going to be hard to clean up these molds. They're really not messy at all. So just a little dish detergent and water will take care of that. All right, I'm going to put that out of the way, and I'm going to check the mold in the fridge and see if it unmolds. I have my doubts. Even as long as it would sit in there, I kind of have my doubts that it's going to come out of there nicely. But we're going to give it a try. Be right back. Okay, you know what? I might be wrong. It might. No, I'm right. Unless I left it in a little bit longer. Tell you what, I'm going to experiment with that. Rather than me try to unmold it right now, because I know it's going to make a mess, I'll leave it in the fridge. And I will get back to you. I will post on my social media a little update and let you know how it turned out. So I really appreciate you joining me tonight. And again, if you're not subscribed to my channel, I hope you'll consider subscribing and hit the notifications bell. We're here every Tuesday night for Tuesday Talk at 8 p.m. and every Saturday at 4 for usually a furniture tutorial, and you never know when there's going to be another video somewhere along the line. So I hope you're enjoying your holiday season so far, and we'll follow up with this and talk to you real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.